Buddy, but he took off with my paper. Come back here. Come back here. Please don't destroy my seed paper. Stop, leave it. Oh my word. This is why we can't have nice things. But, oh my goodness. This dog. I don't know where that whole one section is. I guess I'll be making another printout. I need to revise it anyhow, buddy. Oh my word. But, well, there you go. Buddy destroying today's video for you and me. So, welcome to Southern Latitudes. I am Robin. I'm currently in my shed for a couple of reasons. It's like an oven in here. But I wanted to show you this. So, my sunflowers are starting to germinate. These are an unknown variety. I just know they get really tall, and of course they're leggy at the moment because they're in here in the shade. I'm gonna leave them in here for the night, and then tomorrow I'll put them out there on the grow table. What is this? Whatever this is, it's coming up. Oh, Jimmy Nardello pepper. Yee, cool. So what am I doing? I am starting a few things a little bit extra early for the fall garden. And oh, while we're at it, let's check this tree too. Ah, look at that. My onions, my 1015Y and my plethora are up. And what was the other? My pepperoncinis and the Big Bertha peppers. All of them. Ooh. Some of those were not supposed to germinate for 3 weeks. Pays to put them in the greenhouse in the middle of summer. Okay, I'm back. Between the last segment and this, I had to go put Buddy up. What I had in my hands when he so rudely took it from me was what I call my seed list, as you can see up there. And it has like Baker Creek, Johnny seeds, Burr Pea back when I used them, Totally tomatoes. I had a wish list down here. I also use many other companies now, so like I said, the list needs to be updated. But I don't even have Haas tools on here. That's this is like predates COVID. Anyhow, so what I do is I use this as a guide to help me remember what I liked, what I didn't like. Let me show you. Okay, so looking at it, you can pretty much just see like Blue Lake beans, Old Homestead beans, Chinese cabbage, you know, and so forth. And that's everything I used to order from Baker Creek. And I still could in the beginning. And different times I've marked it when I've ordered it or when I need to order it. And sometimes prices, as you can see down here. This order was split with a friend. So, all that being said, I need to make a new one for fall. But since you last saw the other video, I've had my Haas Tool seeds in another company. They came in too. So now I have seeds in from 4 companies. And I just remembered that I needed something that is not on the list and not in my fridge waiting for fall. That's okay. There's always going to be those seeds. So anyhow, there's things I probably wouldn't order again, but they're still on this list. Oh, I don't have a backside to it. I thought I had a backside to it. Maybe there's a page 2 and I just didn't bring it from the office. But then there's a wish list, which is kind of funny going through my wish list because I see that I got my passion vines in. I didn't get a Bombay mango, but I did get a Pickering mango. I got my Sun Red Nectarine in last year. I ordered it actually 18 months ago and had to wait. I have more bananas, but I didn't get this Gros Michael, Ethiopian kale from Echo. I didn't get that. And then I haven't looked into this heat tolerant. So as you guys know, and you probably do this too, there's a lot of times I watch like your videos or other great YouTubers content, and I think to myself, oh, that looks great. So I put it on the list, you know. Maybe it's not the right season. Maybe I got to wait a whole next year for it. This is why it's so handy to have this list, because honestly, I'll never remember 2 weeks from now, much less next growing season. So I find that pretty neat. And then, and I kind of know what works, what doesn't work, things like that. So I have a lot of new things. I have a lot of my favorite things over the years. And then I'm trialing the two new onions. And I'm still going to go back to the Texas Legends, but the seed was out of stock. And I'm trying not to buy their seedlings, if you will. You know, is that the right word? I'm trying not to buy little baby onion sets. I'm trying to just grow from seed, save myself a lot of money and shipping this year. That was planted on the 19th, and it's only the 25th today. So the fact that onions popped up in 6 days, that's just incredible for me. So now, if I don't mistreat them like I did last year and find myself in a pickle where I had to order sets, you know, these will turn out just fine. And I'm trying to learn and do better year after year. So one thing I wanted to advise you, I've been seeing the question come up on many of my Facebook community groups for gardening, is the main question is, when do I start my plants? When do I put it in a fall garden? Sometimes they don't even tell you where they live. So that's not easy. The first thing you would need to do is to figure out when your first frost date is. So in Florida, zone 9B, where I am, our first frost date probably is going to be January 1st, and our last frost date is January 31st. That doesn't mean we can't have a frost, though, you know, around Christmas. Last year we had a frost around Christmas. I shot a lot of progression videos on the 19th when everything was germinated. Well, when everything was set in the seedling soil. And a lot of this stuff needs 6 to 8 weeks to grow before it can go and be transplanted in the garden. So I'm actually right on time, especially for things that needed 3 weeks to germinate and then 6 to 8 weeks to grow. What I wasn't expecting was that the onions and the peppers would already be germinating right now, but that's a good problem to have. And I don't need all the 6-8 weeks, because a lot of times that number is based on the weeks until you have your frost danger is gone in the springtime, you know, then you can set them out. So fall, I don't have to worry about that, especially here in Florida. If anything, I have to worry more about hurricanes, which they don't even put on those seed packets. So mostly I am talking to you guys in Florida, although this may apply to some of you in the zones close around 9B, which is what I am. So maybe around zones 8 and maybe 10, you want to start preparing and getting your seed if you're in zone 10s, 10A or B. So anyhow, like I said, I have this list. I go down, make an order. I know approximately what my budget is. When I get tired of watching whatever old movie he's put on, I go in the office and I start ordering. I go through my list and I order everything. And I've been real careful since COVID to make sure that list gets in early. A lot of these seed companies will have to be put on a mailing list, so I get a lot of email notifications saying your seed is back in stock. So when a couple of those accumulate or more, that's when I'm placing my order. I know that the seed has come back in from the regular traditional growing season of spring to fall up north, and that those seeds have been replaced, and hopefully I'm working with fresh seed. Once in a while, very rare in a blue moon, I'll worry that maybe my seed is not from 2021 or even 2020, but it should be pretty good. I wouldn't order from companies that were bad. Here's my Clyde's garden planner. This is the secret to a lot of my success in the past, whatever, 3 years since I was gifted this actually. And they're pretty reasonable, about $5 last I checked. And you can find a lot of people that sell them at their websites. Sometimes they'll come with, you know, like the person's YouTube channel or whatever down here, above here. This maybe supported cloverleaf, maybe it supported 4-H or something. But you'll see this, there's a side for spring and there's a side for fall. So you'll want to know your last frost date. And if you're in East Central Florida like me, your frost date will begin about, my first frost date I think is around January 1st, and the last frost date is January 31st. So really, I don't know that this is your frost date line. I don't know that it really goes past the middle of December, but I just pull it all the way to the end. And then from there, it'll tell me when to start my seeds. Now you have to also take into account how long it takes for your seeds to germinate, and then how long before you want to transplant them in the ground, which is why I'm already starting onions and peppers right now. Tomatoes can wait till next month. Ooh, it is already almost next month already. Y'all, get on ball if you're not on the ball right now. So anyhow, this is just pretty cool. If you don't have one of these and you're asking what, when, why, and what's companion, and when to transplant, or when's the last frost date, you can Google that, but then get you one of these Clyde's garden planters. Say you can't afford a Clyde's garden planter, you can still just count this back from when you get your seed packets. They have dates to maturity. In the fall, you'll probably want to add 10 to 14 days for the lack of sunlight compared to in the spring. You have decreasing daylight, so you know, add a little bit extra for that. But you know, you can do like I did, where I just put the dates down: January 18th, January 25th, February 1st. I had all my dates of when to start stuff. One other thing that I really should suggest to you guys that are either new to gardening or just starting back up again is that you want to write down your goals. You know, do you want planters? Do you want to buy this or that? Buddy took off. Do you need mulch? Do you need compost? Do you need dirt? Do you need blood meal, bone meal, fertilizer, you know, whatever you need, potting soil? Do you need tools like a dribbler? Oh my goodness, that made planting garlic and onions so easy. You just poke a hole down. I have one. Hold on. So y'all, if your family wants to know, what do I get mom or dad or somebody, you know, tools at whatever your next big thing is, a birthday, a holiday, Christmas, whatever. This is a dibbler. And let me tell you, this is just so easy. It's not hard to do it otherwise with other tools, but this makes it so convenient. It's a two-step process. Boom, hole, boom, put your garlic clove in. Boom, hole, put your onion in. Something like that. These are absolutely fantastic, and they're really easy on the hand, so you're not always doing the, you know, really tightening your grip, and maybe if you have arthritis, you're getting a little older or something like that. These are really nice for family members, and they're very cheap and affordable too. Here's another tool that I absolutely love, and that's called a Hori, and it comes with the case too, so you can wear it on you if you're gardening. I tend to just take it everywhere with me like a machete. So it does have that aspect, so be careful. You can actually hurt yourself a little bit with it. But if I have small plants, maybe something that's in one of those, you know, couple-inch cups, and they're transplanting. Say you have something in the 152 cell tray, you just pick it up, you just take this and pull your dirt back a little, drop it in, boom, and tighten that dirt right back down on your baby. Another great gift idea, or maybe if you're just pre-planning the gardening season, are these little fruit mesh bags. And I believe this is just like 8 by 12. And I have used and reused these so many times. They're excellent for drying like onions in. I have found that you just put your onions in there. I've put them over the tops of my pineapples. I have heard they're really good for putting your papaya in and cinching it so the wasp doesn't get your papayas. I've also heard for guava and all sorts of fruit that you can put in these little baggies while they're still on the plant and cinch up to protect from squirrels or other pests. That's a great gift and something to prepare for the garden season. Now, I don't know how I got along for so long without a rain gauge. I absolutely love this. Thank you, Lori. I mean, you gave me the gift I couldn't even think of for myself. And even though it's showing some age and wear and tear, which I'm probably going to beautify this again, I'm going to do some protecting on it this winter. But, you know, it really helps because my weather is not actually local to my county even. So what happened in another county west of me may not even come close to happening here on the coast. Or I may get way more or way less rain than, say, Orlando. So I have found this to be very helpful to know if I need to water or not for my up and coming seedlings. Maybe you're just starting the gardening season and you don't know what amendments to put in. So one thing I would advise is for you to either check out the IFAS website, and they can give you information on how to plant and what to plant, but also you can take a sample to any local county extension agent and have your soil tested to see what's lacking and what maybe you do have, so you don't have to put extra nutrition into your soil. I got to thinking about it. I was like, really, this should be your first thing that you lead off with, which is make sure you go into your garden season with a lot of prayer and meditation, and you can make all the plans you want, and then something will abruptly happen, whether it be a weather event, a health event, or a financial event, whatever it is. But I find that it's best to always go to God first and ask him what he wants me to do with my next season of life. Ask him what he feels, you know, would be good for you to plant. Maybe a list like I have. Not that I plant all of this, but this would overwhelm me too. But maybe you're only supposed to plant 5 things. Maybe you're only supposed to try tomatoes for the first time. Maybe it's an herb garden, something simple. I see people all the time, they go, I rent. Okay, that's great. I mean, even when I was in my very first house that we built, we only put out a herb garden, and it was good. And then I felt real good doing that, so we put out carrots, and that was very successful. That was something I only had one child at the time, and he could throw little seeds in the ground and then, you know, benefit from eating a carrot later. So my point is, you know, just don't overwhelm yourself. Stop, slow down, think about what does God want for you in your life, but also, let me also stop and say, it's really easy to get caught up with these YouTube people, and me included. You know, it's easy to say, oh, they have this, they have that, and I'm going to try to create it. But it's too much. Maybe my land doesn't allow for that. I definitely can't have, you know, sheep, goats, pigs, cows, all that. But what I can do, and what I can do really well, is have chicken eggs, and I can have a garden. I probably have the space to do meat chickens or quail or even bunnies, meat bunnies. But is that for me? No. Just because somebody on YouTube does it and they do it well and they say it's easy, maybe it's not for you. And I know for certain I've had my years of having to dispatch animals, and it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And that's okay. We're all designed very differently, and sometimes that is too much, and that's sometimes not a place you want to enter in on your first year of gardening either. I don't know how many years I've been gardening. I know 18 years in this county, and a lot of it was spent just on tomatoes in the beginning. So, you know, meat animals aren't necessarily my thing. Also, I've never shared this with the channel before, but I spent about 8 years or so, maybe up to 10 years, being mostly plant-based eater. So I'm just now, the past handful of years, been eating eggs and all that again. I've always eaten fish, but very sparsely, and now I'm Now I'm eating everything. I have the standard American diet, except for I try to eat healthy here. Maybe that's also your motivation and inspiration for gardening. So don't get caught up in what everybody else is doing. Go back, think about it, pray on it, have some quiet time, have some reflection, maybe make, you know, some notes and notebooks. What are your goals? What do you want to do? Another thing that is kind of funny, I've met a lot of people lately that are very focused on one type of thing. For example, you have people that just love mangoes and they do a lot of mango trees. Then you have people who just love figs and they have like 20 varieties. Then you have people who maybe have tropical plants, orchids, plumeria or something like that, right? So then they have all that. For me, my goal is a little bit different, even though it's really easy to get caught up in going, I want one of that. No, I know I'm limited here on a half acre in a suburban situation, and I have neighbors that I can only have one of this, one of that, maybe two of that. You know, I have to be careful. If I want to have a variety, I have to know where I'm going with my plan. And so it really helps to have my goals written down already, so I don't deviate and get caught up, you know, at a big box store, because it's so easy. Or even on a website, when you're like checking off boxes, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, you know, and next thing you know, you're like buying 3 times the number of seeds you normally would, like I did at Totally Tomatoes. But that was a whole different accident, really. I explained myself already, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So you guys, I hope that this video has been helpful to you. It's somewhere to start if you're new to gardening, or if you're just starting in the fall planting, but you've been gardening before. I want you to know that I'm very thankful for each one of you that watches this video, and all those that give me good feedback. I hope that you're going to have a wonderful and blessed fall gardening season, and that your gardens will be filled with plenty of bounty, no matter where you live. Maybe your season is ending up north. Maybe you're about to start a fall like me, and that's your main garden seasoning all the way until next May or June. But regardless of which way it is, I just pray that it's bountiful. Thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you guys in the next one.